Ame should just free farm. Every safe laner says, when I see Darkseer on the other side, that's free farm.
Yeah. You're going to get almost all the last hits because the animation, the attack animation of a Darkseer is pretty bad. You should be able to get a lot of denies because Ion Shell, especially level 1, is pretty easy to read. And we'll see how OG is going to find a way to be able to break that opportunity for Ame. And their idea is with the Spirit Break, he's going to be pulling around. We're going to see No Tail here, maybe die here as Challenge just keeps on staying on top of him with the Caustic Finale.
He did not expect this level 1 Caustic.
Laying out some taunts, but the dual breath is going to slow him down, and he's going to die. Not the tap.
First kill of the game goes to Psg.Lgd.
But at least it's not that first blood. We are going to charge in from Jerix. He's collected a nice big wave. Now Seth's going to try and block Ame and X-Nova. They're going to try and chase him away from this wave. Maybe even kill him here at that point. I'm not sure how.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You can stack the waves all you want, but they're not going to let them Ion Shell clear.
This is what you want to do against the Darkseer. This tri-lane, push him out so that he can't just skip the creep wave, make it really hard for him to push the lane into you and then pull the side wave.
Cute little play by Thompson. He actually tossed Softness away from the creeps so he could get a deny. Little stuff like that is what makes these two mid laners so unique. Maybe one of the most dominant ones of the last few years for China, while Thompson, newcomer to the scene, managing to win his very first TI with some of his rather unique play bottom lane set. This Ion Shell will start getting some of this CS, but you can see Ame has already racked up 6 denies.
Yeah, Seb right now only has 5 last hits. It feels like he's gotten a lot because he's been on the creep wave for so long, but it's really when you hit level 3 and you get that level 2 Ion Shell that the hero starts to come back online. How do you feel about Darkseer as a lane player? It's not a hero that you've been playing for a while, right?
Well, for me, it's like I just look at Sand King, and I feel like in a lot of ways, Sand King's the same hero, just a little bit better. You know, in the fact that you have the same concept with Sandstorm, of just kind of sitting in the lane. But it's a lot harder to stay out of Sandstorm than it is to be able to work around level 1 Ion Shell, especially.
That's why they're going to tri-lane against Seb. It gets hard for him to get farm in space. We talked about how if this Darkseer doesn't have a good lane, might just be a short one for OG.
Yeah, how do you push back Chalice? You have to just drop so many sentries while simultaneously he can fight you underneath the Sand King as well, which is usually an advantage that Alchemist has over the offlaner. He drops the acid spray and just fan fights you if you choose to try and harass him out. Because the armor difference is going to be too big.
Top Chalice. Gonna walk into this creep wave, contest this pull. Get a lot of these last hits, in fact. And he might even go for the next wave, cut it again. I think you're just gonna allow this Alch to farm, but there's not a lot of choice in the matter.
Yeah, they know that, especially with the Chen, a dual lane's just not going to do enough to shut down this Alchemist. So Chalice can work on trying to get that extra farm. Maybe he pulls it into the hard camp, maybe he just farms it up by itself.
I think he's waiting for the small camp to respawn.
Yeah. Toss up, trying to get that bounty rune. Or power rune, rather, but it is a double damage for Jerix.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But Anna's going to do the same. He's going to pull the creeps into the hard camp, even pop the glyph to help him bring it down a little bit faster. Chalice with the Burrow Strike is going to try and take some of that CS, but Anna, especially with the skeleton spawn and everything else, thanks to Greevil's Greed, he got a lot of gold off of that. Our mid lane matchup, how's that supposed to go, by the way? Tiny versus Deep.
Dire's top tower is under
I'd imagine
attack.
that both do okay because Tiny has your tree grab, which I think is so strong in laning, it's almost impossible to deny it. But melee versus melee, I believe maybe just wins because he can out-regen you. And Breathe Fire is so effective against attack-based CSers.
You could see maybe really pushing that advantage he has off the regen as he continues to tag Thompson even underneath the tower, just knowing he doesn't have to care too much. Bounty rune's going to spawn. Seb does manage to get one of them at the bottom, so we're going to have a 2-2 split.
Not bad at all for Alex. But Chalice is going to get this big wave. He wants to try to connect it to this camp.
They're both going to connect to the same camp, so Acid Spray versus Sand. These are dying so fast. Who's going to get the last hit on the neutrals? It looks like Anna actually walked away with a fair bit. Nova's going to show up for the first time here in a long time. The top lane trying to catch No-Tail. The act of pulling.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's just having a good time. It's one of those weird stalemates where all the cores are sort of happy. Maybe with the exception of Thompson in mid lane. But even his CS is not, you can work around that.
Dire's structures are
And they do
fortified.
spot the rotation down from bottom. This is something that Thompson does so well, and it's very unique to his playstyle, is how
Radiant's bottom
early
tower
and how
is under
often he's
attack.
going to invade that jungle area. He doesn't want to just go into the bottom lane and pressure your tower. He wants to kill you
Dire's middle
while you
tower
farm.
is under
And that's
attack.
why he chooses this DK, not just because he can beat the Tiny in lane, but because it's a hero that can pressure the mid tower whenever Thompson does try to change his bottom lane. They do manage to kill FY with the Ion Shell combo. Jarek, the stun comes out, they will trade supports.
Seb is getting a lot out of this lane. As much of a free time as Ame has had, so except they don't really have a way to kill him easily. No real hard stun aside from Ame. There's no real follow-up to that. But he's out of mana right now. This should be a death. A little bit greedy.
Even if it did have the mana, we're still going to connect. Nova made sure to be there. We could have disrupted. Especially those early levels of Surge. It is level 3, actually.
There's already a Veil picked up by Saint. Palace's timing is real quick.
And now he's going to be left alone in lane as Anna, with Chemical Rage and Acid Spray, is going to start trying to deal with the stacks that have been laid out to him.
Dire's
These are
top
real
tower
nice stacks.
is
And the
under
timing that we're
attack.
looking for on this Alchemist is anything before 12 minutes, Anna will be happy about.
With this big of stacks, I imagine he's going to get there. As he's got pretty lucky on that medium stack as well with Wolves and Satyrs. You always love to see Satyrs when it comes to an Alchemist.
It's the perfect result, like Satyr plus like the Mud Golems.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be like the ideal situation.
Radiant's bottom
They're
tower
going to try and
is under attack.
kill No-Tail on top lane. They really have to. Drop the Veil. They do have the ability to consider if they want to try and go for it, but instead, Chalice goes to the It looks like it's in. Yeah.
Veil, 4 levels of the Sandstorm, you're not escaping that.
And they need to be able to kill him because while the Alchemist is gone, they need to punish the fact that there's no core in this lane. Take this tower.
You gotta pressure all the towers right now.
Yeah.
Psg.Lgd. You need to force the Alchemist to leave the jungle,
Dire's
pressure his
top
lane,
tower
make it
is
hard
under
for him.
attack.
Because OG's already ahead of you, and that timing is Seb and Jarek's managed to take that bottom lane. Charge in on X-Nova. They are going to be able to get the double Ion Shell on top. X-Nova's going to disrupt one of them, especially with the bash from Jarek's. It is impossible for the Shadow Demon to get away from that. He should know about the ward now, but honestly, it's lasted for most of its lifetime, so. OG will have gotten the full use out of it. They even have a sentry laid right next to the Observer ward that was placed out by X-Nova in the last 2 minutes. They just don't know it's there yet.
You see this Fen, by the way? He's gotten the Midas.
Yep.
He wants to keep up with the timing of the Alchemist, who is rapidly approaching his own timing.
That's why it's so important for Chalice to try and get these invasions, but he's been spotted. And more than one, he does have that charge onto him that was there, but they actually managed to get the stun. Chalice trying to get away. One Burrow strike isn't good enough. Body blocks from Seth. Disruption out. Now with Zombis here, it's hard for OG to take this fight any longer. At least that changed. They're still going to try and defend their tier 1. They'll buy Anna more time at top lane.
Jarek's trying to pull the creep wave away. Charge out, but he's going to run into Ame, who's already pre-pepped his ulti.
He does manage to get him with the charge bash, and as a result, Ame is going to be done. Big shot. 5-2. This is about the time the teams are planning their rotations to secure bounty roots. Let's see what OG does to try and secure at least 2 for this Alchemist. How LGD opt to try and defeat that. We're going to Shrine up. Psg.Lgd can go ahead and invade on this right side, but you can see No-Tail's brought Thompson up here. And they might just be able to get 3 answers result. They changed on it, toss up in the air. They pick up that boundary root, but now the epicenter. It could be No-Tail. The support does die, but for OG, they call it space and gold for Anna.
Radiance now is flying out. We talked about the full 12 minutes. 10 is incredibly respectable.
Yeah.
With 500 gold, this is still a very good timing for OG to hit.
Psg.Lgd have not just been able to invade the jungle that often.
Because they want to take mid tower first.
And we've seen Somnus try and take this mid tower, but every single time OG and more of the strong defense. Maybe Anna. Grant's going out. The ice path is going to be good enough to protect him. And now Somnus being run down. The jungle has hit 3, but still, Somnus being chased down by the side. And the Radiant is strong right now, soaring over everybody. The unstable concoction spotting out wide for a moment, and wide trying to hide. The unstable concoction does explode on the Alchemist. So Amplify will force him to chase a little bit farther, but eventually he will die. What a big win for OG. As you said, that timing was all important.
He's so strong. They can't fight into him. And he also, there's a trick where if you spam toggle off the Radiance while your Shadow Demon disrupted, you won't pop out with it.
Ah, did Anna manage to do that?
Yeah, that actually limits the effectiveness of the SD against the Alchemist so much. I'm not sure if they fixed it. Last me and Gunnar tested, it didn't.
Yeah, you're saying basically you don't have to do it before you get disrupted. You're saying you can actually take it off right as you come out of the disruption.
See the replay right here. And it looked like a really good stun, but they had already used their follow-up disable just to try to stop OG from coming in. And they have to take this mid tower. If Psg.Lgd are going to win this game, you got to take this mid tower. Otherwise, you will not be able to place in one place. And that's why Anna's going to come in again.
They just keep on going for it, but finally the tower does fall. They don't actually lose into a deny. But still, I mean, Somnus has been working on that for the last 7 minutes. I remember that first rotation coming out from Thompson, and he immediately popped his Dragon Form.
Yeah, he's been whittling that one down.
So what is that? You're like, we're saying they weren't invading the jungle, trying to shut down the Alchemist because they went up that mid tower. Now that the tower is dead, what does that afford Psg.Lgd?
I think if you're Psg.Lgd, you can now force a lot of aggressive vision in this jungle area, and then you can start making smoke rates into the triangle.
Yeah.
I think that's the play that you want to go for.
Because Anna, in turn, knows that his jungle is probably going to be more invaded. So he's going to be playing in the enemy jungle, but won't be able to do the same kind of aggressive pushes because Radiant mid tower is still alive.
Yeah, they're not out of the woods yet. OG is in a very good position. Because I think this Alk is probably the strongest hero in the game. He's about to pick up his BKB, and then you're going to have an Ion Shell surged up Alchemist that comes equipped with the BKB.
This has been OG's signature style. A full year now is their ability to be able to use certain mechanics and synergies between heroes to buff one hero up to just a monster degree. They did it oftentimes with the damage reduction of last year with the Spectre. Now it's going to be this Alchemist Radiance, plus the Ion Shell, plus the Surge, plus the fact you've got Chen Divine Favor on your side with the Chemical Rage.
You've listed so many things.
There's a lot of sick synergies for the OG side. They need to get kills in order to get towers, and they're going to start by killing FY in the mid lane. Challenge TP trying to return fire. Drops the veil, the charge coming in, and Challenge he needs to be careful here. They do have X-No. They have the gun straight on Hannah, but he just doesn't do enough. He's a monster right now, and he is pulling down every single member of Psg.Lgd. And now he's going to chase down Ame. Can't get out. He's dead. The only members of Psg.Lgd that can survive, the ones that made their way behind the tier 2 tower nice and early, both X-Nova and maybe Somnus realized that OG's just too big already.
You saw the Sven run in. Ame popped his God Strength, thought he was the strongest hero in the game. Anna said no.
He misread the timings entirely. The first time that they fought Anna, where Ame came out of the jungle, hits a 3-man stun, they still couldn't win that fight. Now they tried again.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they thought that Echo Saber would be the game changer.
Yeah.
He's got a BKB.
Yeah.
And this is a really quick Roshan. And Chen Alk is proving to be so strong. The Divine Favor, amplifying all of his heal by 12% on a hero like Alchemist.
It's absurd. Absolutely absurd. This is why this combo has not been given away in many games. 6-9, 8,000 net worth lead for OG.
I've personally seen it in the games that we've casted 3 times.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, all 3 times the Alp Chen combo won.
That's not a hot stat for you right there.
I'm sure Alan can tell me better.
Chalice, he's trying to deal with that regeneration factor. Does have a Spirit Vessel, but Blitz, in order to use Spirit Vessel effectively, first you have to get kills. And Psg.Lgd, they haven't found one in a while. They've been struggling to get charges for Chalice.
Even if he hasn't, though, I don't know how much that makes a difference. If he opens it up in the fight, the BKB's popped by the Alk, he just runs in anyways, doesn't really seem to care very much.
Yeah, it would have to be in some sort of chain stunning opportunity.
Yeah, what they really need is this DK to deal damage. Maybe his build is so greedy, going for the Hand of Midas when your Sen already has one. He has no way to initiate fights, he can't get to the back line. He doesn't really deal enough damage, so they can just ignore him. You know, he hits for 103 like a wet noodle, like Grant would say. His Breeze Fire is pretty good, but they have so much regen that it all gets negated by the Chen. Maybe he just needs to farm.
Add in another 50 damage for Anna's Alchemist, and now he's going to be even more affected. Bringing down towers, but they have been split up a little bit. They're going to try and go for the bottom lane. They quickly execute X-Nova. And trying to catch Somnus as well, cutting through the trees, but Jerix will make sure he cannot escape the Ice Path by Somnus a little more time. The TP coming in for challenge as well. Can he get there in time? That's going to be the double ion shell work waves on this. The double braces just isn't enough protection.
Thompson wants more. Doesn't have a toss-up for 2 more seconds. Chalice up on this top lane.
He knows he's got to be careful here because now Hannah is going to come down from that high ground. And they've already used most of their TPs. They're going to be able to bring in somebody with no tail. They're going to heal up immediately. Ami's going to be able to cut his way through the trees. So he's actually find Thompson. Up the second. Can they actually chase down Ami, or it's going to be X-Nova? He's alive. They've been forfeited. Sends back Jerry. He's probably going to time here as he's charged in. Vintage TP. Avalanche. Unstable concoction. They don't go for the sport. They go for the board. They're still trying to finish up Ami here with the BKB activated by Anna. No tail. Going down under the sandstorm, but it's timing tier 3 to the side. Anna doesn't care about tier 3. He doesn't care about the tier 4s even. He coming in from Baby Somnus. He's going to try and get the kill on this Somnus. He is picking out mid by mid. He has a Spirit Vessel, but he is actually going to let the Spirit Poison. It's going to be enough. He's now challenged. Run down by Anna. Anna is very low, but he still has that Aegis. So Somnus, he commits heavily to be able to finish him off. But now he's stuck. Now he's trapped. He's actually stuck. It's blocking mid, and now he's going to get... Oh, no. Somnus thought he could get out again, but Thompson will deliver the finishing blow with Alpha Set for the triple kill. He walks in, his own illusion fights against him. Psg.Lgd, there is no other way to say it. They end this game raw.
Yeah, they completely misread their strength. They misjudged. The fact that OG can dive into tier 3s at 18 minutes into the game, not bad. Continues to be unafraid, slowly charging forward, and they're just going to dive for it.
He is going to wear out, but Anna is going to be able to get the counter kill onto the Shadow Demon. But he does have the BKB, but he takes the BKB. Underneath the ice path, another round of the sword hammer. Killing range has worn out, but it's turned away once again.
Maybe is back, but still the lack of farm. You haven't felt this Dragon Knight's impact at all. He does have more CS by like 30 on this Tiny, but you're feeling Thompson's presence in the game. 5-0 and 8. Conversely, maybe with possibly the worst showing of the tournament that he's had, 0-3 and 0.
Yeah,
I have not noticed this DK in this game.
This is not the superstar that Psg.Lgd has built this squad around this performance by him. And you know, it's not just on him, right? It's got to be his team as a whole misreading how they were going to be able to play out this game, how they were going to be able to shut down the Alchemist.
Both sides
They want to be able to fight for the bounty runes. Ready to go. He's going to wait out the ice path. He can blink forward, toss back onto Somnus, or he can look for more. He's going to look for more. He's going to grab Jared. Into the charge, into the vacuum with the wall. What a sick combo from OG is now. They look to be able to run down even Unstable Concoction will actually stun himself. X-Nova just played a game with Crown Rosie. It has a deadly finish for X-Nova. Now 9-20. OG marching high ground at 20 minutes again.
They have to deal with Chalice, who sits in the Sandstorm, is going to back out the charge. Probably not going to complete it.
Okay, takes a few shots from the fountain, no big deal. Dances it off.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
They're going to take Rax 20 minutes in. LGD cannot contest them at this point. Ame has finally realized what the situation is, and it is dire.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
He's going to try to get his BKB just so he can fight, but it's really the damage that they lack right now.
Where's that damage going to come in? They finally finish at the BKB, but I'm not sure if that's much of a game changer for Psg.Lgd. Even if Somnus had his,
Dyer's
that's
bottom
not
tower
going to give
is
you the
under
damage
attack.
you just blatantly need against this Alchemist, who now has an AC and is soon going to have a heart.
Oh, he's got a heart. I thought he just completed the
Dyer's
AC.
bottom
Yeah, it's
tower
20 minutes
is
in.
under attack. Radiant's top
22,000 net worth, 17,000 lead for
boy.
OG. And you can make as many arguments you want about an Alchemist and how he's supposed to be ahead, but no way he's supposed to be this far ahead.
Yeah, 17K. Normally when we say that, we mean like 5, 6. That's okay. 17. You are
They're going to be able to get 2 different stuff. So Thomas holds on to his. Thompson makes it. He's going to be another double damage to Thompson and Anna. Dealing so much damage as well. Tier 2 to Paul. And a Tier 3. Surely to balance his Psg.Lgd. They just lack the strength to be able to deal with this any longer. Thompson tends to get his entrance into X-Nova. Follow up on it. Chalice as Jarek's managed to get the Nether Strike onto him. Chalice Bird strikes away.
They're just going to call it. GG. Sven picked up his BKB, not even going to bother at this point. He understands how this game has been done in.
I mean, Anna could have better, right? With this chat wheel as the game. Oh, look at that! Disrespect! I'm sorry, crowd. Where are you at?
Excuse me?
Where are you at? I don't hear you. Oh.
It almost feels like the crowd's giving them a little bit extra motivation.
Oh, yeah.
You see No-Tail, he says, I want all the smoke.
OG, don't give them a reason to play against you like that. They already showed it once, not once, but twice against EG. When they've got some vendettas on the line, OG shows up to play, and boy, did they in this game 2. Absolutely perfect, as OD and Anna said in that.
Psg.Lgd's turn to pick.
For each other's weaknesses, you know? They're like one of the best duos in the game, I think.
They
Psg.Lgd.
do get the ET you suggested, Febby. The most picked hero of the tournament so far.
Yeah, second most played by LGD actually with a 86% win rate. Mini Nahas here.
Statsman Febby.
Yeah.
I think they have to take the Alk here. I think unless they have a set idea of how to beat this Alchemist, it was too strong last game. I think even if you kind of contest him in the early game, he's going to get a Radiance, and they give up the Alchemist.
They have a different idea. It's the Tiny who OG had last game as well. I mean, as far as heroes that look the best of the best, I feel like Tiny is in that category as well.
Yeah, it's just so versatile. It can play as support, but nowadays we see it more on core with the tree volley. Just coupled with some AoE stunts, this tree volley can do a lot of damage late game.
The scary thing about this Alchemist is most Alks are going at least one Bracer, if not two, which means that he's not going to die to this Tiny Goblin in the early game if it's a core Tiny. Maybe with the ET aura, the magic.
Yeah.
But even then, I think it's kind of pushing it.
We could see some of those combos around ET, like the ET Gyrocopter where you run people down with the magic damage. Of course, OG now have two bans to protect themselves from some of the heroes they're worried about.
Probably they're going to ban the Void
Yeah, that's the other hero.
and the Gyro. I think those are probably the top two priorities for OG.
Ember's pretty up there too, I think, for LGD.
Lifestealer is okay. As we said, like last game, it's good against the creeps. You can eat the creeps. It's decent against the Alchemist, I think.
It does not abuse the ET aura though. I think like you gotta ban those heroes that abuse the ET aura. I can see them picking up Jakiro too, but it's not worth banning for OG. But
He's a Radiant Spire. And that's ET aura, magic, and
10
physical.
seconds remaining.
I think the one scary thing about not scary thing about the Lifestealer though, is like he
5
doesn't
seconds
do
remaining.
enough damage until later in the game for this Alchemist, like, you know, post 30-35 minutes. And before then, this Alk Chen, I think, is going to run them over. Like we saw last game, this Alk had such a fast Radiance, and the game just feels over like 15 or 20 minutes, right? There's that one Roche fight, or the river fight. Shadow Demon's level 5, the Alk gets like 3 kills. Sven tries to hit creeps, so now this Alk's like double his net worth, and the game feels really over.
Yeah.
And Lifestealer's gonna be in the same position, right? Like sure, like him, like the Sven can scale against this Alk. You know, 3-4 items, maybe 5, they're gonna be evenly matched, but this Alk's gonna have 3 items on you, and at that point,
Well, yeah, how do you beat it? And the Chen synergy with the Alchemist, it's not just the amplified dealing, it's you've got this hero in the jungle that's stacking for the Alchemist, can stack with his hero, can stack with his creeps.
5
Something
seconds
OG are very efficient about getting Ana as much farm as possible when he's playing Alchemist.
one of the issues with like this multi-thing stacking is you can only micro so much, right? So it's like you can kind of try to get like 2-3 camps as well, but it's kind of hard. So I think what a lot of teams can do is they give away the Chen creeps to their other players. So you can give like 2 creeps to this Alk, and the Alk can also stack 2 other camps, you know?
Yep.
And they're just maximizing their efficiency.
It's the Gyro ban, so Psg.Lgd do have Faceless Void open to them if they want to go for it. Name has played a decent number of games on the Void. He is comfortable on the hero.
yeah, it's one of Ame's favorite heroes.
They also, LGD banned the Darkseer.
10
It was so
remaining.
good with the Alk last game. He's getting Surge early game. He's already fast from ult.
5
He's already a fast
seconds
hero.
remaining.
He has phase boots, and he has a Surge. He's running, you know, 600 movement speed, 700 movement speed.
It's
You
pretty
can't slow
funny.
him.
It's pretty funny because like 2 days ago, Darkseer was untouched, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't picked at all. Now OG's just bringing it back.
He was one of the, I think, the last 5 or 6 heroes unpicked or unbanned, unpicked at least in the entire tournament.
Yeah, and then he got picked by Secret, maybe?
Secret or Liquid? maybe?
Liquid. It was Liquid with
yeah.
mind control.
Yeah. I think it's coming back a little more because teams are, I think, valuing Ember a little more than they were the past couple days. Alchemist is also getting up there, and Tiny. And Darkseer
10
with
seconds
those 3
remaining.
melee heroes in particular are really good for the 15 to 25 minute mark. Ember,
5
for obvious
seconds
reasons,
remaining.
his ult's faster. His Flame Guard just becomes a better Flame Guard with the Iron Shell. Alk for what we said, and Tiny just because he gets you in position. And that's all Tiny needs. He needs to get in position for these toss avalanche combos and dealing a lot of damage.
Shadow Demon is picked up by Psg.Lgd, giving them SD ET support duo. One of them will be FYs. Do you think that's more likely to be the Shadow Demon getting
Yeah, probably the
here?
Shadow Demon.
Also a block pick. If they wanted the Void, you want to take that SD away from OG, I feel, because that's the save that teams often want to be picking and playing against the Faceless Void.
It's also good against the Alk if you're really far behind. Because if you make illusions of him and he has Radiance AC, you'll get both the ores on your own team.
Well, the trick we've been seeing is you can turn the Radiance off while you're disrupting.
You can't turn off AC.
Oh, true. Yeah, they can turn off the Radiance.
Backpack it, but there's also...
Yeah. But as far as the Radiance goes, I feel like the SC, we're seeing all these alks now just, you can spam it and turn it off inside the disruption.
Tidal turn made it to the second phase.
Ooh, it's a really good Morphling game for LGD, I think.
Yeah, I saw Morphling. It's okay. I think there might be a little too much pressure in the mid game for Morph, but it lanes really well against the Tide. But I think they're just gonna get Lamba last pick.
They needed the magical damage, so they opt for the Sand King, even though they lost with it last game.
Get the fast veil, you've got magic damage coming out from Shadow Demon. It's synergy with the ET aura.
Yeah, there is a lot of damage for LGD.
Yeah.
I guess they were happy about how their first 5 minutes in the offlane went with the out pressure. But as we saw, that didn't really slow his Radiance timing down significantly. You got the 4th highest, right?
Yep.
So I guess, they're feeling confident. They're like rerunning what they did last game. They're probably saying, maybe our mid pick or our carry pick was a little off. Maybe we gave them too much. So maybe now they're kind of thinking, what we did with our other 3 heroes is fine.
Yeah,
we
and their mid pick has changed. It's gone from a DK to a Tiny who is kind of faster paced. It's at least a hero that can get in the Alks jungle and steal stacks, I feel. DK doesn't really farm enemy jungle stacks or stacks at all.
Not until he's even level 12 right now. At that point, it's too late.
So someone that can go in, threaten to kill Alchemist, take those stacks, and OG now going to be wondering about what they're going to get.
Probably going to pick a Thompson hero right now, unless he has multiple options. Usually on this pick right here for first pick, you want to pick the hero that you think is more important to your draft. So in this case, they pick the Rubik. And that's because they're probably going through like, yo, Jerax, do you have options? And he goes, nah, it's really, Rubik's the best. Everything else is a tier below. And they go to Thompson and they say, and he gives like, oh, both of these heroes are good, right? Because now they have the choice between 2 heroes, and only one will get banned, and the other will be good no matter what. And only this one a Rubik. So OG is going to pick up the Rubik. It's really good against Sand King. That's one of like the classic support counters to it.
Thompson definitely a player who has quite a big hero pool as far as unconventional mids go. So
the Dazzle ban, I think they're scared of the mid Dazzle.
Yeah, it's the second game of this 3-game series we've seen the Dazzle ban, so clearly something
That's interesting.
they believe OG can do. Maybe they've seen it in scrims.
Yeah, maybe I think it should be the scrims. OG played a mid Dazzle and it was pretty scary, stalling out the game for the Alchemist.
It's also got synergy with the Chen. You get more healing on your team. If you ever grave the Alk, he's going to heal back up to half health by the time it's over.
It's a lot of minus armor too. Acid, Bush, Dazzle. A lot of armor.
OG's turn to pick.
Void ban, they're still scared of that.
That's the carry we expected to see in response to OG's draft with the Tiny Tree Volley as well as the Elder Titan Earth Splitter synergy. It would have been a great option for them as their last pick.
It's also one of the good people have figured out counters to Tide. That's why we see it a little less, I think, now. Because he can't, break off the Chrono, right? If he gets stunned by a Chrono, he's getting stunned full duration of Chrono. It's not going to end after 500 damage like every other spell.
So the most optical Thompson hero right now would be some brawler frontline that can fight with the Tide and the Rubik and the Chen. Has damage and has deep push. He needs like all those 3 options.
Psg.Lgd.
Might have all those options.
I think so, right? Brawler, deep push with the Q,
Sure.
overwhelming odds, and like, what else did I say?
Fight with Tide.
Yeah, fight with.
Yeah.
Good minus armor.
It's kind of a cool pick too. It's another hero that benefits from the Chen amplified healing. It gives them a save, something that, we saw Psg.Lgd pick Shadow Demon to take away from OG potentially. So having a save in the second save with the Chen heals as well gives them a lot of ways to keep this Alk alive.
Also, this OG timing push at 20-25 minutes. He walks up high ground and he's just gonna get 100 attacks.
Last pick, Slark. Ame Slark. He brought this one back into the meta if you go back to Epicenter, and this is a pick against a lot of melee cores. This is Theorycraft is one of the better cores run against Alchemist. You guys like the last pick, Slark?
I think if they put it mid, I think it's pretty good. It lanes well against the leading commander. It's one of the few heroes that can kind of trade with it. And I think if they do that, Ame's gonna get off to a start. He's probably gonna be able to carry the game.
I think in the late game, it's gonna outcarry the Alchemist. So, but the question, of course, every time is if they can get to the late game.
Well, we're going to have to find out if they can hold, because Alchemist with Chen hits that scary timing. We've seen OG. They just ran over them in that game too. Do you think they're going to get to the late game?
There's a lot of hero from OG. The LCW, what is it called?
The press the attack.
Press the attack hero, the Chen Aura, Alchemist ulti hero. There's a lot of hero.
All right, well, we've got Casey on stage, and here's some final thoughts from one of the coaches before we get into our Game 3 decider.
That? Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. That's playing away, baby.
Oh, spicy.
Can't escape your sins.
Prepare for battle.
I almost feel bad.
We owe you one.
Try harder. Try harder.
Absolutely perfect.
And sure enough, we go the full series. Game 3 between OG and LGD with a twist. Everybody expected the Alchemist to be taken out of the pool, and I'm not sure if anybody expected a Thompson Tidehunter. Oh, it seems like OG's bringing something different that we haven't seen yet, Blitz.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is essentially just give a hero that can front line, run in for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
They're a space maker and a playmaker at the same time. I think it's just good overall. I think the idea too behind the LC is similar to what they had with the Darkseer. Just a hero to buff up the out. You know where your bread is buttered?
Yeah, and as they were talking about, the press the attack is going to be a form of heal as well, that it's going to be amped up by the Chen.
Yeah, I will say I think the Slark is a much better core than the Spec to deal with this. The idea that LGD had was, we need a hero to deal with the creeps. No, you need a hero to deal with the Alchemist.
And I feel like Tiny is like the biggest and best change to LGD's lineup to deal with this Alchemist. Seems like DK was too slow, especially when it came to taking that mid tower. The fight over the bounties begins, and OG,
I want to know how many games Ame, or maybe has been completely blinked out. Involved in no kills at all.
Oh, look at that. X-Nova made that read perfectly. They were planning that Anim was going to take the other bounty rune. He was going to be teleported down to bottom. And now he's going to have to use his TP scroll, and Psg.Lgd managed to get 3 of the 4.
Nice hard read as Chalice going to block up the creep wave. I think my favorite change to this is making FY play the Shadow Demon instead of a hero like Jakiro. I just don't love Jakiro as a pro position. I feel like it's very limited what you can do with that hero. FY is your priority. Let him roar.
And you've got a lot of play potential, and you want this Shadow Demon to be strong against an Alchemist, right? Like, part of the way of dealing with Alchemist is heavy burst damage, and if Soul Catcher gives any sort of burst damage you have, it makes it look that much better. A tiny combo Soul Catcher, I'm not sure what hero doesn't die to that.
Yeah, plus the Earth Splitter, of course, percentage-based things being very nice against the Alchemist. But who knows, maybe it's just going to be a little bit too strong for them, as last game was so one-sided. I personally think that the combo is way too good, and Psg.Lgd, they're banking on the fact that they knew it was coming and they had an answer for it.
They did say in that interview with 357 that they were going to be pressuring the Alchemist a lot more. We see that already with FY just getting stack after stack. X-Nova doing what No-Tail was trying to do so well in game 1 with his Elder Titan, and just push back the other 2 opposing members of this duel lane and give Ame the space he needs.
Yeah, but he's already so low. He's got to be careful with the time being. Seb, once again, having pretty good lane. He's going to fight up against Ame. Doesn't seem to care too much. And now that X-Nova's here, he's got to be a little bit more cautious.
It is a pretty cool idea, right? Is that like Tidehunter and the Alchemist are very well countered by the Slark. It's just a terrible lane for Tidehunter. So being able to get the hard counter of Legion Commander against that Slark instead, and swapping Thompson over the mid lane. See,
you feel like it's a hard counter?
I think when there's a Commander against Slark, I think it's relative.
I think when there's a save, it's really hard to play. X-Nova getting quite low. The nuke from Seb, right click from Jarex, will finish this off as Ame has to back out, reset himself, leaps away over the tree line, first blood going to OG.
It's good starts. That aggro dual lane, our mid lane, 12-2 for Thompson. As Somnus struggling a little bit with CS, but the wave is pushing into him. And he also has an arcane room in his bottle. Lane pushing out into the favor of the Shadow Demon Sand King, which means there's going to be some neutraling shenanigans. We'll see how FY tries to do this. The top lane, the stomp goes out. Does manage to hit at least the Rubik. Jared's going to be quite low. Can he finish him off? X-Nova, in the end, Seb will return fire, break down X-Nova.
Support for support. Top lane, Sand King doing a very nice time of things. NS Farm hasn't been slowed down either. Courier almost goes down. One more hit would have done it for FY.
Or Thompson just maybe. He's going to try and put the pressure on him. So maybe to get the Thompson back. Solo felt like that. You know, I thought Thompson knew better, but sure enough, he was way too low.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Thompson is it does feel like he dies the most out of any of the top mid laners.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care too much.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this guy cares about deaths, farm. It just feels like he cares about getting into the enemy jungle, forcing you out, and being this frontliner for Ana. But that'll be a costly death as AB had such a slow start. He's already eclipsed his kill mark total from the previous game.
Seb laying down the spray when he gets pounced, while Ame in turn covers up that spray with one of his own from PG game.
Meta, you see, maybe he gave the latest hit to
Ame trying to get out of it. He does have the pounce range. They're trying to block him in with Seb, but he actually juked the wrong direction.
Rubik, have you come to study?
Oh, Somnus with this double damage.
Clearly going to zone out this Tidehunter. Thompson does not want to be here for the time being. Creepy even just running through the area just to give one more last hit to Somnus.
Goes out. Zach, big nuke that's going to force the pounce away. And X-Nova may not be able to win this man fight, especially when we press the attack activated on Seb. With the level 4 means he does have that passive to be able to bring down X-Nova. If he can get into the trees, maybe to stop. No.
Ame's just going for the bounty runes against the outfit. This is so important. Jarex is going to try to race him against these, but doesn't have lift. So he will not get here in time. Neither of them have boots, but Ame is in a much better position to pick up this rune. And it looks like Psg.Lgd will get away with 3 of them.
Yeah, that is maybe the best of that situation. That's all 4. It's only 240 gold being collected for the OG side off the bounty.
Yeah, they're going to wait for this bottom lane.
The next label play.
Nobody wants to pick it up quite yet.
Funny part is, because they have an Alchemist, OG net worth lead is even, despite that big bounty rune advantage that Psg.Lgd has. Joust doing so well, 33-6, 31-6 for Somnus, who's now looking for the toss over onto the Tidehunter into the tier 1 tower, and Thompson without Ravage is going to be caught by the stomp. Body blocked up a little bit by FY. Will build up the stacks and see if he's going to be the one to claim the last hit. In fact, he will. FY. One of these last hits, he won the fast ether ones.
Much better start for all of Psg.Lgd this time around. A less greedy lineup too. I don't know if trying to out-hit an Alchemist is ever the play because the hero doesn't work in the same sense. He's not like a Midas builder. He's just going to get his 10-minute, 12-minute items and win the game for you.
That's why we heard our draft pack talk about how important it was to shore up your mid game, because that's where the Alchemist is going to hit hardest. Once he has that Radiance plus AC.
From the 12 to like 25-minute mark, this guy is king. Nobody will touch this out. You have to be able to ride that out if you're Psg.Lgd, and that's why they took the Slark. The Slark is meant to secure the late game.
Yeah.
He's good against all 3 cores on the side of OG, and neither of the supports do anything against him. So the way this game looks is pretty clear-cut. OG have a timing window. Once again, they're going to go down the lanes with their Legion backing up their house, so you can't ever get stunned up. Constant purges, the heals, the Tidehunter's going to back him up too. He's going to get a Vlad's. And for Psg.Lgd, it's bend, don't break. take fights. If you lose 1 or 2, that's fine, but you can't afford to give up all your tier 2 towers. That's
Hilarious. Look at No-Tail. He's been won by Wen sending out his neutral creeps to be able to pull back the wave to stop this push. But finally, he's going to be caught as the Spirit does reveal where he's at, and Psg.Lgd will die with confidence now, especially since they've already brought down at least one of his neutrals. But Hellbear is still pulling some of the creeps, though.
Okay.
And this really is the principle of getting kills into objectives, right? Is that No-Tail, he understands the same thing, and he's saying, you can kill me, but if you're not taking the tower, it's fine.
It's on the run. He's pinging towards it. He's laughing about this right now.
The turn comforts of the melee creep is going to get the deny on the illusion rune while simultaneously pulling all of this into Ana. Not even going to return into the bottom lane. This is some next level shit from OG.
Oh my lord. I can't even believe that. He dragged the entire creep wave so that Ana gets a double wave in mid lane. He saves the bottom tower, maybe wastes his entire time, and he denies the illusion room. Dude, that is the most value single creep that I've seen.
I mean, I think that was the most space-creating, defeating death I've ever seen. No-Tail literally bought himself, like, he just killed 3 minutes of pushing time.
Yeah, he, Highlight Die is just in the back. He's like scribbling notes. He's like furiously trying to figure out what he did right there. That gave Ana so much gold, much closer to his Radiance. Didn't have an amazing laning phase, but that's going to help out a lot.
Yeah, it certainly is. But this is where Psg.Lgd are going to have a change of tactics. Last time, they tried to go in for the mid push to try to take down the tower before taking over the jungle, but this time, a smoke directly towards Ana. Chalice leading the way with a one-level first strike.
Just found Mana.
They're going to be able to get the disruption first. And the Epicenter follow up. They're going to throw all the first damage onto him. All at once. Right. It's not going to be good enough.
By the way, I was wondering why this ward right here that Psg.Lgd placed, I was like, why didn't they block the camp with that?
Yeah.
And you realize because OG's going to look for that ward. They don't guarantee that there is vision there, but by placing it up there and not blocking the ward, not blocking the camp, that's so intelligent.
Yeah.
It's going to give Ana a little bit more space, but it's going to open up kills a little bit more. They've got no idea about it.
Also, the combo, the way they set up that kill was just brilliant. It maximized the damage in a minimal amount of time. Right? Leading with Disruption to get off Epicenter first rather than trying to go for Burrow Strike into Epicenter where there's this delay of damage. It really killed the effectiveness of Chemical Rage there. Now, Psg.Lgd will manage to get another 3 bounties. That's 9 bounties they picked up in this game for 2,400 gold. Excuse me, that's more like 12 or something.
Yeah, that's how they've kept it up in this game so far.
Oh, Jerix! No, Max Nova doesn't have a TP.
He'll be stuck here for the time being. He's got to wait for the creep.
Look at him, he's sitting on top of the Spirit and taunting him. Before he's going to TP away, but FY actually has the beam on top lane. Seb's going to be caught, but over to mid, where Jerix. You play around in the Spirit, you do a little taunting action, showing off the X-Nova, but in the end, you get caught for it.
And he loses the ward for it too. X-Nova's fine with that.
Yeah, I think he is now, for sure. How's Thompson doing in farm, by the way? He's going to be rushing double bracers into a Vlad. So those bracers are super value for Tidehunter, both because tankiness as well as making your anchor smash more effective.
The courier's been killed too.
That is a big pickup.
Dire's bottom
But
tower
Ana
is under attack.
talked about the pre-12-minute Radiance.
Yeah.
This time around, they've slowed down so much of his farm.
It's not even a 12-minute relic at this pace.
Radiant are
Last
scanning.
game, he had it at like 10 minutes, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Have they dewarded it yet? They still have vision of that area. Jerix is still looking. He doesn't see where it is. It was such a good ward.
It was.
It's the next level mind game. Give them the stack so that maybe it'll pay off and you'll get extra kills.
Smoke up, rotating to bottom. Seb, who's been holding on to this tower for OG, but now will pay for it with his life. The top. So what's the chance of OG defensively rotating?
And they still haven't lost any towers on the side of Psg.Lgd. No trade towards that top lane. It's still quite healthy. And this is going to create even more space for Ame. They can play into the jungle. Jerax hanging. He thinks that they're going to smoke towards mid, which is why he preemptively places that sentry.
And Midas is almost here for Ame, plus his level 10. So both help him far. Here's Samus trying to catch Ana here. Does have the toss back into the creeps. The TP, it's a slow one from FY, so there's no chance of them actually killing this. But it does force a lot of rotation. Zeb is now in the same lane as Ana. Not really the way they want to play things.
No, not until he has Radiance anyways, and he's still working on it right now. And that's why Psg.Lgd are going for all these aggressive maneuvers. They know that they've slowed down the timing enough. Thompson isn't really getting involved in fights either. They just want to defend this mid area while he tries to catch up and farm. This is not the typical Thompson game that we see where we see him rotate into the enemy jungle. He's been a lot more farm-centric. It feels like both mid laners have been strong position. Seb getting gone on at top.
They do Jerax though, TPing in. Telekinesis toss back on X Nova and Seb as he wakes up. He'll see this as an opportunity to get some dual damage.
First dual win for him in this game. But yeah, it feels like whoever has Tiny is playing aggressively, and whoever doesn't just prioritizes the farm. Thompson, we felt his impact in the mid game so often throughout this series alone.
Looks like they don't want to give up this challenge. He's going to show himself. Challenge with the bail out. Not actually trying to get any extra damage off the epicenter, surprisingly enough. Maybe with FY here trying to catch somebody with the disruption. Does get him. That's going to be the Chen pot. Challenge ready for another round of the Burrow Strike. Or even if they don't kill Seb, they'll will get a kill at the top lane. Still though, I'm sure OG is quite happy with the space created as they took the mid tower.
Forcing Thompson out of the jungle right now. He just continues to plug away this farm. Maybe he's going to go for... Okay, not sure.
The Radiance is here. You know that OG, the last time they picked up this Radiance, they immediately barreled into Psg.Lgd.
But the timing was much better last time.
Yeah.
That was almost a full 4 minutes ago that they got it. It just delays up everything. The AC timing that he got, the BKB. He has to continue to just farm up, and Psg.Lgd are in a much better spot. In fact, at this point in the game, I believe they were down 3-4K.
No! He's still able to get the long-range Burrow Strike on the no-tail, but that is a max out for the attack. Still enough to save no-tail. Now the challenge with the round down. Killing his offlaner, and maybe he may have just got himself killed as well as Ana chasing him down with the Radiant Storm. This is going to need another beautiful toss away. Looking for it, it's on reach, but it's going to be too long. Yeah, like where to go. Slowing down Softness, and the Radiance will burn him down. No chance for a play.
And Ana finally decides to participate with his Radiance. He understands that he's the strongest hero in the game. He's got to make his presence known.
Dyer's top tower
March his way towards the top lane, and it looked like it was going to be so good for Psg.Lgd. They got the disruption on the Sand King. They were fighting under the Sandstorm for so long, but it sort of evens out.
Tower is under attack.
One of the advantages of this Chen is being able to pull people around the map, and we see that with Thompson, who gets TP back to the foundation, go for TP somewhere else in the map. If he felt like he wanted to go top, he could have done so.
Yeah, and for the third game in a row, OG is going to take the mid tower first.
Radiant structures
They prioritized it so heavily in their games.
Oh, Nathan's going to be left behind, and Ana sees it. Thank you very much. That'll mean some more acid sprays.
Dyer's top tower
going to be taken.
They see all these heroes rotating over. Psg.Lgd really want to take the fight, but Seb is going to try and get the initiation on the summon. They have the unstable concoction for the rest of Psg.Lgd. He's on their way. There goes the duel, but Challenge is going to be able to get 2 minutes. They have Seb dead, but Ana is still so tanky. He gave him the design press, the press the attack. The level 4 press the attack with so much regeneration means Ana will be able to bring down X Nova. Now he looks for more, but Challenge, he's just trying to pull the creeps away. Buyback over to the side, the buyback. Chen is here as well. X Nova trying to catch him. FY looking for the disruption while Ame taking stacks after stacks, but he waited out. He's gonna 7-14, LGD win a massive fight in the top lane.
And OG, I thought that Ox was dead for sure, but they find the save for him. The follow-up, this is going to be a value shrine. I'd like them to continue to play faster, smoke up, attack that triangle area. You're together here as 5 right now. Looks like they're going to back out, farm through. Ame still in a really comfortable position, about to pick up his Diffusal Blade. Medallion on Chalice.
Feels a little bit like game 1 now, where OG had that net worth lead. But once LGD were finally able to reclaim it, things started snowballing heavily. We'll see if LGD can do that again, or if they're going to play it a little bit more passive this time around, because they do have so many items about to flow in. Ame almost has a Diffusal Blade. They're going to work towards Aghanim Scepter on Somnus, though he needs the full kit still.
If you're Psg.Lgd, you probably want to take a fight. They've got to be a little bit cautious, though, and they did end up going to the triangle area. They just didn't smoke for it. OG, they've got the Ravage. They want to take this fight, too. Both teams feeling like they're stronger than the other.
Rare Thompson shows up as all important because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He needs to be able to get on top of Psg.Lgd to get on top of the next node right away. But there's a disruption. Thompson dodges to the Thompson. Still trying to close the distance. Wants to be able to catch the Nova. He completed his TP. Anna will stun himself. They'll surely know about the vision on the high ground now, but OG did not get the successful smoke gank that they were hoping for.
OG battling it out for position right now. And now it's going to be an immediate run into the Roach pit. Feels like deja vu of game number 1.
Yeah, that's because Somnus TP'd out to the bottom lane. He thought that was space. And OG failed to find a kill, but now he has to run all the way across the map.
And it's got a BKB too. They should feel pretty strong here, but
they don't
do it quite fast enough.
Can Psg.Lgd actually take a 5-on-5 against BKB and a pipe with Ravage?
They're looking like it. I don't think you can give this Aegis up for free, because I feel like it's going to be then again a repeat game.
Who can survive against that combo? Certainly not dead.
It looked like he was strong enough. You were wrong, friend, and now the crowd coming back alive. Jensen, where are you at? And they're responding now. Top lane.
He's going to use that last bit of lines to kill the Observer Ward, and he does manage to pick up the bounty rune. So Thompson grabbing 3 in the last. He still has BKB, but more time. But that is a limited resource against Psg.Lgd's aggression.
Pick off after pick off. They're finding holes around the map. You still haven't really felt the impact of this Tidehunter either. 0-3-3. Thompson was so dominant in game number 2.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower
7-17. Still LGD holding that slight net worth lead against an Alchemist.
You're not feeling good right now if you're OG. Your Alch Chen combo should be the strongest at this point. You picked up a pipe on Seb. You've got a Vlad, a Medallion on Thompson. This is almost the exact same situation as last game. They're itemized in a very similar way too. But it just doesn't really feel like they've got the same oomph.
There's so many things that I mean, Seb maxed out press the attack first, for example. Him going for the pipe, as you said, it's like they're all showing that they're trying to synergize around making this Alchemist as strong as he can be. And now Seb, he just gets caught again. Thompson's going to be here, ready to go with the Ravage. As well. Beautifully placed. That's going to be a lot of damage to start things off. The stomp, though, will allow them to retreat.
They're just going to back up as they rightfully should. They don't quite have the mana for this, and it looks like they're just going to walk into Roshan again. I heard Anna, he did pop his ulti. And yeah, if you top it off, it works.
He managed to do it in time, so LGD won't have that easy way.
You just have to spam press it, I believe.
Yeah.
And it takes it off, because he definitely had Radiance turned on when he was under, when he pops out. Neither the Illusions did.
Gotch, as well as the Medallion.
Oh, this is a nice one to pick up the Illusion. This is going to scout out her, stop any blinks. The initiation out from the Sand King as well.
Disruption onto the Illusion Alchemist. Not able to start that Radiance off. May have vision of that observer ward as well, but everyone is a little bit too scared to be that far forward. Jarek showing himself top, Anna showing himself at bottom. LGD have a little bit more confidence that they control this mid area. The BKB soon for Ame. If OG doesn't take that Roshan soon, I fear they may miss their timing splits.
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure out where they go from here, because once he gets the AC, that's one of the strongest power spikes in the game for this Alchemist.
Yep.
You can get items after that, but the 3-item timing of this Alch is used to be, it's so powerful. That's what they rode last game, and this game it feels like they're still going for the same play. It's just not really there for them. It's harder for them to push into Psg.Lgd's lineup. They haven't taken enough tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Thompson, I think, has had the roughest game. We're not really feeling the impact of this Tidehunter. It feels like having a similar performance that maybe did. And it doesn't feel good going all these items that are meant to empower your Alchemist and not winning team fights behind that hero. So they're going to go for it again.
Spirit revealing and slowing things down into Mud Golem, stunning up Ace Nova.
But Ame's really far away. They noticed that he wasn't there, and this might actually be...
It's a free rush. Unless... No, Summit's not going to go for it, is he? He's thinking about it. He's floating around this area. He's going to go for blink rush up. And now Childs immediately punishes. Hit by the rabbit. He drew up the disruption on top of the goal. X-Nova will eventually die here on me with the BKB. He activates it, but everybody on G is so tanky. Psg.Lgd, was this a mistake to try and challenge this Roshan FY? Trying to get away, but there's so many blinks coming in. Another round of unstable auction. It's his FY. LGD lose the Roshan, and they lose 3.
I'm so surprised that they took the fight in that way. They held for so long, and then they just gave up the area. Ame just decided he was going to go bottom, and then TP's back to the base.
And OG is going for it. That if you give them this opening, they're going to push it in a hurry. They do have the Aghanim Scepter for Somnus. This is going to be rather important being able to defend. Throws out the ball. Very long game. Start things off. The Avalanche followed up. Savage, well handed. Knocks down half health. Right after the Savage going to be able to finish off the tanking. No buyback from him. There's going to be one coming out from X-Nova. But these heroes are rapidly regenerating off thanks to March and No-Tail and his healing aura. And Ame. He's trying to build up some medicine ship charges. More volleys into the back line as he goes. But this is looking like Anna is unstoppable. Jarek spying them the time with the Sandstorm, making sure everybody gets out except for hits. And then, yeah, that is going to be Jarek's hot top. Turning around, he does that round. And they're coming back in. X-Nova going to be saved by so much damage. In the end, he's going to be left alone. Somnus does manage to finish off Jarek, so support for support trade-off at LGD, still down 2.
But there's no more racks for them to take. They know there's bounty runes. They're going to reset off of that. That'll be a 2-for-1, and the racks taken. Ame's decision, and whoever's call it was on Psg.Lgd, that might prove to be fatal. The decision to split up, give up that Roshan area to deal with the rest of the waves. You had to have known that OG was desperate to take that Rosh.
And then in the end, once that mistake does happen, trying to cover up that mistake by fighting for the Aegis.
Yes, once Ame, I think he realized, he's like, oh man, I actually messed up. So he tried to overplay. He BKBs, uses that and his ulti. Once that pops off, OG knows this Slark cannot 5-on-5 against us.
Well, we'll see how well LGD is going to be able to hold, because OG, you know what they want to do.
They're going to get a heart on this out, and the regen with the Divine Favor is going to be out of control.
Shrine is under attack.
Percentage base heal on percentage base heal.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of health he'll have.
And again, they still don't have a Spirit Vessel either. They still would have been handled by the Legion Commander with the Press the Attack, which is another great synergy with this Alchemist. So even if he does get chain stun, he'll have a way to be able to break it.
And somehow they find themselves in the exact same position they did in the previous game.
It's a little bit tougher to go high ground a second time, though.
Oh, look at this. Seb went back for drums so they could all in for it.
Nice.
He knows, he smells blood right now.
He's going to be pulled in soon.
You only go for this item, you go back for this item because you think to yourself, this game's going to be over real quick.
Yes. Somnus. They have the Sandstorm DPS, they have the volley, they have these little things they can throw out, but they have to be able to address the back line of OG, and look at where Thompson is. He's trying to break smokes right now. They're going to sneak over with the Slark, but he's just flying by. Same time, Omni could not commit for Seb, so in the end, it's just Samus who died with no buyback.
And that was everything that Psg.Lgd had. They committed hard for that fight. They still have the epicenter, but a lot of this damage just being negated by the hard damage is going to go back in.
He needs 60 gold. 60 gold for the buyback on Samus or 30 seconds. Which will it be, LGD?
Is under attack.
Are they going to have to give up 2 lanes of barracks to get Jarek? Oh, Jarek's throwing down some points of his own challenge. Trapping this epicenter blood. He's going to be able to get the 2 in the back line. Can he actually finish off this time? They're just so damn tanky. There's no advantage. Tiny, the pipe is too strong and challenge. Sitting amongst them inside the sandstorm, trying to push them back, but he's going to have to burrow strike away from Anna as Anna pops another chemical rage, turns to the melee barracks. And this is going to be 2 as Ame starts racking up those stacks into the back line. This time those mid peak and need to push off a chain. Couldn't stop it. And Seb actually completes the teleport in. Managed to get the duel. Can they get the more? What's that? Shadow dance away. Anna looking for any target that's weak, but he has to TP away. He realizes he's low. This rush is not he stalls up Anna, and now Anna. Oh no, the burrow shot challenge. This is not the moment to choke, my friend. But fortunately, this is all right there to protect you.
In the backline has been chased on it with so many stacks, 141 agility. They wanted to get away from that Slark. It took them a little bit too long. They do lose the melee barracks, but that's a 5-man team wide. Psg.Lgd needed that desperately.
And as a result, it was quite the net worth climb for OG in these fights, but it is going to take heavily back down. As OG now only holding a 5,000 net worth, and Ame is going to start claiming some items, starting with the Shadow Blade, working towards a Silver Edge. We almost have the Solar Crest for the Sand King. Somnus now has a crit with the Crystallis. Bully just gets more and more dangerous, but OG, they only really need 1, maybe 2 more fights.
Look at OG. They're hiding so far behind Jarex. He's being patient right now. They understand that Psg.Lgd with the numbers advantage is on the hunt. That's why Ame's going to go all the way around.
He's got to be right there. He's still got to get some punch agility. He saw it earlier. It was a super attack going out. Jarex, that is not a steal that will get you away from Ame.
That's 123 agility that he still has, and the 11 perma. That's quite a bit of it.
And all the bounty rooms. That is, look at that, 2,000 net worth. That's it.
And the gold lead is swung now the other way. These 2 Titans just swinging for the fences right now. And OG has to be careful. Every other team has proved that Mega Creeps does not end the game. If you are consistently getting wiped, just racks, that does not feel good.
At the same time, though, they know that Psg.Lgd does not have buyback on their Shadow Demon, Chalice, as well as X-Nova. Do you try and force it anyway in this fight, or are you just waiting for Roshan?
I think you're waiting for Roshan. That's probably your next objective for both teams, in fact.
Okay.
For OG, it's how you get potentially the last set of racks without having to hard commit. For Psg.Lgd, getting it onto Ame so that he doesn't have to use his BKB so soon would be pretty nice. And remember that OG is still on the timer. A lot of these items that they've opted to go for, they're not meant to scale.
I mean, you said it perfectly with Seb, right?
You went back for drugs.
You go back for drugs is all inning right now.
Yeah, you think I'm going to win this fight, they're going to break, we're going to wipe them, we're going to go for the throne, I'm going to pop my drums active repeatedly. And they've got like 14 auras.
Oh boy, Thompson. He's got his level 20, and he's about to finish up a Desolator. So when Roshan does spawn, they can do it super quickly, but at the same time, Psg.Lgd
uses buyout gold here. Gotta be careful. They've got a gem.
The volley, slowing down some of those supports, but they pulled in Anna, and I'm not sure Psg.Lgd are ready to take a fight right now. Epicenter, oh, Chalice. Fortunately, he held on to it in a way. He stopped it, so OG don't know he used that big team fight ultimate.
Doesn't feel too good. Ame, whenever you use your buyback hold out like that, it feels so bad. Yes, you have your silver edge, but you don't feel comfortable fighting at this point.
Yeah. A tense game 3 for OG and LGD. This determines who's going to be heading to the grand finals. Will it be a repeat? Will OG beat LGD in the upper bracket finals and go all the way through to the grand finals for the second year in a row? Or will it be LGD changing history, changing the fates, the path that laid before them into Shanghai?
You can forget about the last TI if you win this one.
Yes.
This is the biggest one by far. It'll sting a lot less.
In so many ways, whether it's the prize pool or the pride of finding under your home nation.
The only thing that matters is being the latest champion.
Dire's structures are fortified.
15 to 25, 33 minutes in. We're going to have a split push. OG, they've got 2 towers to take bottom lane. Ame plays the other side of the map. Psg.Lgd, they're not looking for a fight until Roshan. It's upright. Surprised no OG to be willing to play the other side of the map, but maybe they feel like LGD just can't do Roshan quickly by themselves.
I think LGD is just waiting for their opportunity to just hold out another high ground assault like that.
Yeah.
That's where their Sand King's going to be the strongest too, is when OG's going to push into him. Plus, Psg.Lgd, I think they make the right read on the game. They should feel like if it continues to go on, they will win. I have to imagine this is
They're going to try and break them. They're looking for break, but no Thompson gets up the Ravage first on the 4. No real follow-up from OG, though, so honestly, that's good enough for LGD, forcing out that ultimate.
Yeah, with the Ravage down, that would have been the gem. That's why Thompson was so willing to pop that.
Yeah.
Even though it might cost you another fight, not losing the gem is the key here.
So OG say, that's fine, we have time. We'll just spend 2 minutes before we take Roshan. LGD are not going to be able to force the issue themselves.
And this is going to be an Ags picked up by Ana. Wonder who he gives it to. Jerox would be a pretty good call.
Thompson now has the Desolator, and he's somewhat close to 25. This is something that Ame may have to start worrying about a little bit.
The lack of armor on Tiny?
No, just the gigantic amount of AoE damage that comes from his Anchor Smash.
Sarcastic.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Daedalus soon for Somnus too.
Everybody has so much armor on the side of Psg.Lgd.
They really do. This tiny 34 armor. Ame has 25 for himself.
I don't actually think they care about this Deso very much. But I feel like OG is kind of running out of options for what they can get.
Buyback from Seth with this stop. What's happening here? These are going to be over all day, but at the same time, they're still trying to finish on Thompson. That is not going to be good enough. Challenge, not even the grab. BKB activated, and they quickly realize that we need the chemical rage. Gem drop, Thompson reclaims it.
They don't want to give up this Roshan area. Ame's going to hop in. Somnus is going to bottle up that inv. Is not that good because of the gem that they still happen to have, but Psg.Lgd in a really good position right now. The buybacks were used by OG, but of course, as we saw throughout this game, all that really matters is who gets this Roshan.
That's why everyone's just playing around that mid lane.
They gave the Axe to the Tide, by the way. One of my favorite Ags in the game.
Yeah.
It's so awkward, and it's like a better version of Venge's Wave of Terror.
I mean, you've got the Gush Armor talent for it too, so that's minus 12 in a line, plus the Acid Spray, plus Solar Crest that are being thrown around on both sides. Momentary stop on Ame. Doesn't want to blow his BKP, so he pounces down to the river.
Building up those stacks. He's got 12 perma Agi. That's so much. They're looking for the backline right now. Thompson doesn't have it.
The big swing of the Anchor Smash finish bomb. Now M1 trying to get a full disruption out. Stop going in. That's going to be Nova. He's going to be left fed to Ana and Thompson.
About to burn out, but
Oh, no tail. Almost died there. The press of the attack helps him, though.
and all the buybacks filtering through. And I lied, Thompson does so much
Dude,
damage.
Thompson does so much damage, and he doesn't even have the 25 talent yet.
I can't believe Ame died to that. Roshan's getting how close this was.
It's going to be too late to be able to claim Roshan at least. So LGD going to have to do another one of their famed high ground defenses.
OG just figures it out. They find a way, they dig deep. They figure out a way to win. Look at the net worth and the XP slowly start to climb back in their favor. I figured for sure Psg.Lgd's lineup would be stronger at this point, but OG are just out fighting them. Their use of the buybacks feel a little bit better.
And it all starts with Jerix, right? He gets the telekinesis, the follow-up Ravage, then they solar crest the Slark, hit him with the big anchor smash.
Yeah, this is just one team outplaying another team at this point. This should be where Psg.Lgd is stronger. OG is just...
Trying to jump on the hand, force something out. First strike out for the duel. He immediately used on a tiny summon. Is there a save? They both buy back. Ame, he's now here working in a no BO3 for him, but he doesn't have team. Oh, and the other center. Ame with a Shadow Dance, no. He's immediately popped. They're going to try and back themselves away, playing the high ground again. OG. Will they assault the base again? Or will they just play it slow?
I think they should just go for it again.
Dire's
They've
top
got Ravage in
barracks are
20
under
seconds.
attack.
They've got Aegis. I think Thompson's just going back for mana, and they're going to go for it again. There's no
Dire's middle
buyback on a lot of these
strong.
heroes on the side of Psg.Lgd. All it's going to take is
Dire's
one more
bottom
swing,
tower
one
is under
successful
attack.
team fight, and OG will have won and secured themselves a top 2 finish at this TI.
250 damage up to Thompson, and he's got Ravage. He can play the front line now. He can be the one hitting the tower if they want.
Anna doesn't have
Dire's
buyback
bottom
himself,
tower
but
is under
he's just
attack.
going to allow Thompson to swing away at this tower.
He lets loose the Ravage. Are they going to be able to follow up the disruption? Challenge going to be able to intercept, making sure the Step doesn't manage to get the duel. Sonic forced out the way as well. They're going in for the Megas right now. They still have a right. It's top lane, so this is not Megas by itself. Trying to finish off Thompson. That is maybe going to be the Aegis of the They want another he almost died with the Shadow Dance plus BKB. He's going to be able to get away. Stable concoction, disruption. He's going to stun himself. He does. Thompson, though, making his way up to top lane, has to force half away, FY in danger of that anchor smash. The finishing blow. OG, all in. One last chance to make their way to the grand finals here. Get those Megas, but don't lose your lives for it as they do not have buyback. They don't have the Ravage anymore. Can they get this range barracks? Can they get the Megas? And can they get out afterwards? Psg.Lgd.
They're going to have to do word on pot. No buybacks.
Disruption, they can stop trying to get those solutions. Stop into the backline. Don't say anything, and immediately chemical range. That's going to be Megas. Psg.Lgd will try and hold against Mega Creeps.
OG, they might not be done yet.
LGD is saying, if we can just draw this out a little bit longer, maybe we can win. But OG may not give them the chance. Mega Creeps is good enough for this team. They're going to go to tier 4. And will this be the blow that ends the game? Will it be the way that they get to the grand final? Or will this be their fatal mistake? One tier 4 down. Immediately disruption going out. The disruption is losing. It's got to be wait. No, he's going to go for Thompson here. BKB activated. Soul Catcher on the but it's not good enough. Now, the physical damage to overall from Psg.Lgd in a 3 versus 5. Can no one go home? OG in the upper bracket finals. Straight down LGD. Power to the grand finals for the second year in a row.
They will have the opportunity to defend their throne. If you come at the Kings, you best not miss.
OG have done it again. Absolutely unprecedented.